Namaskaram students. Now we are going to discuss about addiction and dependence. What is addiction? I already said in the previous video, addiction is a usage of certain substances such as alcohol or some other drugs which can affect the physical and psychological structure of an individual. This is called addiction. If the person is addicted, he lost or she lost their jobs, home, and money, as well as bonding between the relationship in the family members. Moreover, their productivity in the industry or job oriented, everything is going to be minimized. In other words, they are not live in the normal world. So addiction leads to the psychological changes, that is euphoria. This is nothing but over excitement or happiness in the temporarily mood. In the previous video, instead of euphoria, I said as euphorbia. It's sorry ma, the word is euphoria. That is, the addicted persons, they are enjoying their life in the happiness mode or over excitement. If the persons are frequently using the drugs and alcohol, which can affect the normal metabolism of the body. If the dosage of drugs and alcohol is increased, this not only affect the physical, that is a structural and inner organ, it is also depressed the mental level, that is called as a hook on, which means always stick on to the alcohol or drug. If there is no alcohol or drug, they won't be survived. So that's a mindset most of the addicted persons nowadays they are having. So that is called as hooked on to the particular drugs. If it is continuously they are using the drugs in their life, and ultimately that can affect both mental as well as the emotional preoccupations of the particular individuals. And some person, they know about this is not good for their health, they can affect the society, and it is a very big problem for the family members also. So they are thinking that to withdraw from such kind of addicted habits. So if the persons they are stopping the any drugs before that they are using, they are showing some of the withdrawal symptoms. They are agitation in their bodies, depressed mood, anxiety, some of the nervousness, restlessness, irritability, and sleeping disorder. In addition to that, their hands and heads are shaking. That's called as the tremors to convulsion. That is, it maybe leads to fits also. So these are the withdrawal symptoms. If the symptoms of the persons are accepted by the affected persons, or it is identified by the medical counselor, proper counseling and guidance with the help of medical treatment, definitely we can cure the addicted patients, and that person can lead a healthy normal life. So that's all about the addiction and dependence. Next we are going to see classification of drugs and their effects. The first one is stimulant. What do you mean by stimulant? That means it can active our normal metabolism in a higher level. That is called as a stimulant. So for that, they are using some of the drugs or amphetamines, cocaine, nicotine, and tobacco. It can increases the activity of the brain. And the second type of drug is called as depressant. That means mentally depressed or mentally upset by taking the alcohol, barbiturates, and tranquilizers. So tranquilizers, mostly it is used for the animals in the wild zone. That is called as a தூக்க மருந்து. If any animals are want to do some research or want to help them, they are giving some of the shotgun method. That's called as the tranquilizers. It can slow downs the activity of the brain. And third type is called as a narcotic or analgesic drugs. And this is especially useful for the medical or medicinal surgery. Example, opium and morphine. Whenever any operations are going to be done, before that they are giving the anesthesia injection. So this can depress the central nervous system for a short time duration. And next is called as a cannabis, that is bong, ganja, charas. This can affect the heart and its related blood vessels, that is called as cardiovascular system. And last type of drug is called as a hallucinogens. Hallucinogens. So this is nothing but the imaginary world. By taking one type of fungi also that contains a chemical compound lysergic acid diethylamide, and another common chemical is phencyclidine, which can distort, that means misrepresent the way one sees, hears or feels, that is talking unnecessary related to that particular situation, misleading, and they are suppressing their life. So this is called as the hallucination effects. These are the classification of drugs. And next we are move on to a very important topic. What are the effects of drug and alcohol? The effects can be divided into two types. One is called as a short term effect and another one is called as a long term effect. In the short term effect, the symptoms are appear for only a few minutes after taking the drugs and alcohol. This is feeling some of the drowsiness and dullness in the sensation, some of increasing the blood pressure and deep sleep, sometimes vomiting and nausea. So these are the short term effects. That means they are showing the symptoms within a few minutes after taking the intake of drug and alcohol. Whereas the second type is called as long term effect. This causes the serious effects. Not only changes in the body structure, it will also affect the mental behavior also. That is, they are not bear any kind of the situation and they are thinking that they are living in the somewhat exaggerated world. For example, if the persons are continuously driving any vehicles, especially the lorry drivers, after their working hour is over, definitely they are taking the drugs, especially the alcohol. Similarly, the sweepers and sewage persons, to get rid of the bad impression among them, they are taking the alcohols. This is the long term effect. They are continuously taking the alcohol. What would be happen if it is the long term effect, and what are the symptoms for this? Let's see. If the persons are using the alcohol continuously, it not only affect the physical structure. The important organ in our body is liver. It has the ability to regenerate itself. But if the persons are taking the alcohol continuously, here the liver regeneration capacity is lost. And moreover, breakdown of fat synthesis also stopped. As a result, fat accumulation that causes the various kinds of diseases in their body. The main point of scarring of the liver, that is called as a liver cirrhosis. Just observe the normal liver with the liver cirrhosis. In normal liver, blood vessels and blood flow is pumping without any disturbances, whereas in the affected person, the liver having the small patches over the surface of the regions, and this is called as a liver cirrhosis. This is nothing but due to the alcoholism, it can destroy the liver cells and forms the scarring the tissues, and ultimately it can lead to the dead cell also, and such a condition is called as a liver cirrhosis. It not only affects the liver, in addition to that, it also affects the various parts in our body. Those who are having the alcohol, it causes the oral cancer, as well as it can loses their ability, that is called as a Warrenchi-Korsakoff syndrome, and joint pains, and malfunctioning of the nervous tissue, liver cirrhosis, that is the jaundice, and causing the gastritis, intestinal problem, chronic gastritis, and it affects the synthesis of insulin production also, called as a pancreatitis, and a heart related problem is called as alcoholic cardiomyopathy anemia. So these are the various organs in our body is affected due to the alcoholism, in which I dealt about the liver cirrhosis. So alcohol not only affect the liver, it also affect the stomach portion and it causes the ulcer. Heart also affected, especially in the cardiac muscle fibers. As a result of this, some of the person continuously they have the habit of taking the alcohols. It can increases the risk of high blood pressure, stroke and coronary artery diseases called as heart attack. In addition to that, they can lost their memory power also. So that type of disease is called as Korsakoff syndrome. That means a chronic memory disorder. Chronic means slow by taking the alcohol, the memory power is going to be disturbed. That is called a chronic memory disorder. Is the most common problem for the alcoholic person. They are taking the misused manner. And how it can be prevent and control the alcoholism? Especially these problems are occur in the adolescent or teenagers. So they have some self-esteem or self-confident, want to say no to drugs. In addition, some of the various methods to prevent the control of addicted persons. Let's see one by one. The first step is called as effectively dealing with the peer pressure. And main alcoholism or drug addicted dependence with the friends. Imposing the friends in either party or friends birthday celebration, they are forcing the other persons to just try what would be happen. So in the curiosity or intuitive nature, the persons are started the first type of drinking the alcohol, and this can be affected, and as a result it is continuously throughout the life. So first and foremost, if they are identify this problem, the imposing the pressure of the friends, we have to get rid of such kind of friendship in their life means definitely avoiding the usage of harmful drugs and alcohols. And the second fun step is called as a seeking help from the parents and peers. Getting the proper advices to solve the problems, definitely we can go and approach the elder persons. So we are not feeling the anxiety and guilt while you are talking with that person. They will give the proper guidance and advices to get rid of that unwanted disturbances in our body. And third one is called as educational and counseling. This can create the positive characters among the problems and withdraw the symptoms and disappointment in the life through some of the spiritual and moral values. By giving the proper guidance by the counselors, the alcoholic addicted persons, they are going to change their lifestyle and looking for the danger signs. I said about this kind of problems especially targeting the teenagers. So in the teen groups, the teachers and the parents, if they are looking something different behavior than the normal means, immediately we have to take the step and we have to give a proper advice to them, and we have to say what are the plus and minus about that addiction, and we have to give some of the guidance also. So this is called as a looking for dangerous signs. And last one, seeking the professional and medical assistance. So the advanced stage, they won't listen and they are not get rid of that kind of addiction. So definitely a highly qualified psychologist or physiatrist and some of the rehabilitation program persons alone, they are involving to overcome the such kind of problems for them. So these are the prevention and control of addiction. So we have to say drugs free or say no to drugs. In the surrounding area also, if any persons illegally they are selling their drugs means, immediately we have to inform to the proper authority persons and we have to safeguard our environment. And last we are going to see about mental health and depression. Mental health is a state of well-being of the mind with self-esteem. This is the definition for mental health. Why we are depressed? If you are not doing any other work in a proper manner, if the surrounding is not be convenient for you, and some of the stresses in your body leads to the depression. Ultimately, depression can lead to the death also. if you are thinking in a fraction of second why it has happened, from where it has arrived, and if you have discussed this kind of problems with your family members or any kind of the persons trusted by you, if you are giving the open talk, definitely there is no depression in your body. So due to the depression, several kind of incidences happen in and around us. So try to avoid the such a situation in your life. So whatever the problems are there, we have to be trusted by yourself and you have to confident in yourself. So these are the mantra for to get rid of the depressions. So we have to increase our self confidence and we have to believe ourselves we are the right person. So positive mental health is an important one for the wellness of an individual. If the persons are mentally fit, they are appreciated and rewarded in the society, as well as they can create the good bonding and supporting with the others. So mental health can improve the quality of the life. If the persons are not mentally fit, that leads to depression. It's one type of mental disorder which causes the loss of interest and feeling guiltiness, and they are suppressing their ideas, and they don't have the proper sleepness and a poor appetite. They are not engaged in a normal life, and there's no proper concentration in their work as well as the educations. So this ultimately leads to the depression. What are the symptoms of the depressions? I already said they can loses their self confidence and self esteem or self analyzing their level, and leads to the anxiety, and they are not able to enjoy their level. They leads to the disturbed mindset. So there is an alternative and some of the remedy for the mental depression, such as main thing they have to change the lifestyle, such as meditation, yoga, intaking the healthy food habits, proper exercise. So these are the mantras to get or to relieve from the depression. Why they are asking to do exercise? Because during your exercise, there are two compounds which is released in our body. They are serotonin and endorphin. So they are called as a neurotransmitters. So that compounds, chemical compounds, which can suppresses our depression mind. So during the exercise, serotonin and endorphins are produced. They are the neurotransmitter which act as the depression suppressor. So these are the mantras we have to be follow in our daily life to remove the depression. What are they are? First we have to be trust ourselves and we have to increase our confidence, and we have to create our surrounding in the healthy manner, and we have to maintain a proper social connection with the other members. So brain is very important organ in our body. If you are addicted, the main part of our brain is affected. So if the brain is affected, we are not do any work in a proper. So we have to take care of our internal organ, as well as we have to maintain a healthy life in the society. These are the ways we have to be get rid of our mental depressions. So at last I am concluding this lesson by showing some of the pictures. Lifestyle disorders in human beings. So just observe the tree. So for the tree, the root is essential to withstand the life from various environmental struggles like a high temperature, heavy rain, and storms or cyclone. If the roots are withstand in the soil, it can give not only the encouraging support, but also it can be absorb some of the nutrients which is present in the soil. Similarly, first we have to find out the root cause of the problems. It may be improper diet, or due to some of the taking of toxic substances, not taking the proper exercise, nutritional deficiency, sleepiness, some of the inflammation in our body. If any root causes of the problems are arised, we have to be analyzed and we have to be overcome the problems by means of proper medical and career guidance counseling program. If you are find out that exact problem of yours body, definitely the upper part of the and overall surface of the physical and psychological problems of the human beings going to be rectified. That is, there is no occurrence of the heart problem, there is no depression in our body, there is no hormonal imbalances like a thyroid formation, our body to be a normal, there is no bp, there is no diabetes, there is no allergy in our body. So the root cause of the problems are analyzed means that related problems later is going to be enhanced to be minimized. So these are the way we have to be safeguard ourselves. And adolescents later they are going entering for the next stage of your life, that is called as the adult. So the children are the fundamental and pillar of the future of citizen in our country. So if the fundamental, if the building is basement is strong, the whole area future they are going to be live, that should be a betterment. So my dear students, so far we have discussed about addiction and the life cycle, how to overcome the addiction, and what are the methods we can lead